One way I like to think of convergence is as collisions. Very different ways of thinking about the same problem, and actually weave a new type of fabric of knowledge that none of these individuals could have achieved on their own.
We develop mathematical models to help understand cell signaling, these very fundamental engineering concepts, and we're applying them to complex biological systems. And right now we're focusing on cancer cells. To be able to come into contact with biologists will prompt new ways of thinking, really new ways to build the models to take into account some of the things that as engineers we just don't have a lot of experience with.
Michael S. Waterman for his pioneering contributions to biological sequence analysis, for devising fundamental mathematical methods for planning genome products, and for his leadership in establishing bioinformatics as a discipline.
I always underestimate human beings interested in text. People they like text, they like to analyze text. Amazingly, certainly not known before 1953, the genetic text is written in this double helix, but it goes from one end to the other, so that there's a text there. Sequencing was able to produce little pieces of that text. No one wasn't shocked when it turned out that genes in organisms like us are interspersed. There's a piece of coding, and then there's a bunch that gets snipped out, and then there's another piece of coding, introns and exons. The sequence comparison computer methods we were using to compare two gene sequences simply didn't work right with this kind of data. We knew this was a critical problem to solve. We didn't know quite what it was. Eventually, the formulation of the problem was to find the two pieces of the different texts that were the most like one another. Absolutely key to discovering new biology. In 1985 was the first serious meeting to discuss, could we possibly sequence the human genome? We're mathematicians. We should be able to, instead of these simulations, we should be able to say something about this. And we went over to the MIT library in the middle of the night and decided, oh, we'll just do it ourselves. Bioinformatics is changing greatly. It's becoming much more integrated with the lab. The people that we have today are almost all ambidextrous. They do lab things, they do computational things. I think that's really going to be necessary to proceed in understanding biology at a deep level. I'd like to begin with a question, and it's really a question about time or a question of time, and that is, why was biology so late developing as a science? After all, the ancients all had their various explanations as to why rocks were stationary and rabbits dashed about. Aristotle, as with everything else, Aristotle devised a hierarchical classification of living creatures with 11 levels. But biology remained largely a descriptive science even after Darwin. In 1944, Schrödinger asked, "What is life?" While many of his ideas were incorrect, the book was inspirational, and some adventurous physicists took up biology. And with Watson and Crick, genes left their existence as an abstract concept and became written in DNA. So in answer to my question as to why biology has been late in development is that we needed physics and chemistry and also computer science and biotechnology. The biology revolution could not have happened much earlier than it did, and we are all, as you've heard, just getting started. We three awardees of the 2015 Dan David Future Prize, Cyrus Clothia, David Hausler, and I, caught the transformation of biology from mostly a descriptive subject to an information-rich science. Our research then was not on any hot topics category. We simply found fascinating problems that were irresistible, and we were determined to pursue them. We greatly appreciate the Dan David Foundation and Tel Aviv University for choosing bioinformatics as the area for the award, and we are deeply honored to be the awardees. Thank you.
Martin Karplus, Michael Levitt, and Ari Warshel. Your ideas and the methods you have developed to study the properties and behavior of chemical systems have revolutionized many branches of chemistry and made it possible to study the behavior of chemical systems in finest detail. This is truly a great achievement. On behalf of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, I wish to convey our warmest congratulations, and I now ask you to step forward and receive your prize from the hands of His Majesty the King.